I think I would put it at the top. The reason someone is gonna favor the Snapfire a bit more is because it's easier to hit spells with the Snapfire. But if everything is done correctly, this is the strongest duo. At least when it comes to the laning stage. Even later on, yeah, it's pretty strong in the in terms of team fight. But if we're talking only the laning stage, if you connect with your spells correctly, this is the one that has the most potential.
And Lilgun deciding to go for the Terrorblade this game. They have the heroes to protect him. They have some good utility usage and crowd control. Like, they have a lot of stuns in the team, a couple slows to apply, stuff that TB likes when he wants to stand and fight. The issue that I'm looking at here is Neon.Atomic. They decide to put the tiny mid now. That does allow Lilgun to get themselves a good matchup for the mid lane versus the tiny. They could still opt to go for the Tusk or the Primal Beast and keep that matchup as it is. Maybe go for another offlane hero. I think that's what Atomic's also thinking about with this Viper ban. They have to reply to this TB with either their own gameplay or a hero counter and still allow Lilgun to counter your counter. So this is a pretty interesting part of the picking phase, considering there's so many things that can happen, like a chain reaction.
PL is pretty decent for Neon.Atomic. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it gets banned out. Looking at the heroes of Lilgun, they don't have a lot to deal with the with illusions. You could say that most likely you want to put the Tusk in the mid lane. Position 5 Tusk is great. In this game is solid at saving people from the Mars, from the Dark
Yeah.
Willow. But sometimes when you don't have the items, you could be in trouble. Whereas a core Tusk, he'll deal with the tiny decently in lane, and later on down the line he can one shot the Disruptor and the Dark Willow. Plus the Dark Willow, she cannot react with the Shadow Realm any longer because it has like a 0.3 second cast time. So pretty much you would be able to kill both the supports. So I would want to see a mid lane Tusk.
So they banned the Life Stealer and the Ursa. Both of them are pretty annoying heroes, but still fine for the TB to match up against. Plus, they would have countered the Primal Beast and the Tusk. I wasn't thinking CK though, but it does actually fit in nicely because of the way this hero times himself, the laning stage into how do you continue from there, combined with a snowballing tiny Mars and Dark Willow.
10 seconds.
I could easily see Atomic run this game over in like 23 minutes.
Seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Yeah, they're focusing on the lanes again. Win the side lanes, Tiny goes even, Tiny gets the blink, you destroy the enemies. That's what they want to do. The reason I'm not the biggest fan of their lineup is because they have no tower push. And this time around, Lilgun are not gonna be so easily dealt with in the lane. So I think we're gonna be having a closer game than the previous one for sure. Neon.Atomic, they shouldn't be able to crush it as much as they did in the previous one.
Yeah, if they don't, Lilgun, it really does come down to them. Like, what kind of approach do they do? How do they play out their TB lane? Most importantly, because it's not an easy matchup you're going up against. It's a lot of magical damage on a very squishy hero. So this last pick, is it an offlaner? Is it a mid laner that they want to bring up? We'll lock in the Primal Beast and the Tusk's positions. Like you said, the Tusk could be 5. It could actually work out pretty nicely, but we'll see what they want to do here.
I actually would like an Undying here for Lilgun as the last pick. Without the CK illusions, dealing with the Tombstone is next to impossible. You get the heal for the Terrorblade. You actually are pretty tanky in the lane, so you will survive through the heavy magical damage of the Mars and the Dark Willow. You secure the lane for the Terrorblade. Terrorblade then goes and pushes the towers early on, helps his team that way, and then you survive the biggest strength of Neon.Atomic, which, as you mentioned, is around the 20-minute mark. So I would like a strong position 5. The Undying is the one that comes to mind first.
Yeah, I would like something like an Elsie or a Sand King, though, if they decide to pick an offlane hero. Like, maybe 11 is happy with one of those. I'm going to go for the Snapfire instead. So, let's see what they have. Mid Tusk, offlane Primal, alright. So that was their cores. Keyscope with the Snapfire. And everything else looks pretty standard on the side of Neon.Atomic.
Okay, they went for something that is gonna be surviving the Disruptor CK lane. Even though it's not a melee hero, it's very tanky, 4 armor, a lot of HP early on. So you are good in that lane. The reason I'm scared here for Lilgun is because you have a Rubik Terrorblade. These are heroes that you can easily punish with the Mars and the Dark Willow. As soon as there's no metamorphosis, Lilgun in that lane are sitting ducks. So Neon.Atomic, they're probably gonna try to completely dominate the enemy safe lane completely. But yeah, it's not gonna be the same as last time because at least the off lane of Lilgun is gonna be having a good time.
What do you think? Are they going to win or lose without the Naga on Neon.Atomic?
Ooh, if this Rubik was a 4, I would definitely go for Lilgun, and I think I'm still gonna go for Lilgun. So yeah, Neon.Atomic, I think they're gonna lose this one.
All right, so a potential tie score in the eyes of Harry. I would love to believe in Lilgun, considering that they had some good shows yesterday. Just wasn't quite enough to close out a map that they technically could have taken away from their opponents, and now getting trashed in game number 1. They should be furious. They should be angry. They should have that bloodlust to head over into this second game, snatch it away, have those Mongolian horns roaring somewhere in the background, get that battle cry out there, and put up a fight against Neon.Atomic, who have been starting off this tournament pretty well.
I'm just hoping that Lilgun didn't get into this loser's mentality that sometimes happens to all of us when you lose a couple of games in a row, and then however the game is going, you feel like you cannot win, and then you start overextending over and over again. So I'm just hoping that they're not at that state already. It would be... They might get into it even more if this early smoke from Neon.Atomic actually does work.
We'll see if they happen to. At least their lineup doesn't necessarily allow them to do so. It has to be Ikigai or 11 who are going far, way too far. And 11 is going to be in for a bit of an ill surprise. Atomic, they're stacking up nicely for a little wall here.
He's in a good position to survive.
He's got the Tusk and the Snapfire making their way there as well. But here we go. We got the Chaos Bolt rolling out first. And there is no onslaught for you. He's dead. First blood to go for straight into the direction of the Neon.Atomic. And it's for Lucify.
Oh man, he messed up with that onslaught. He tried to use it while the Chaos Bolt was flying towards him. That's a slight mistake that probably cost him his life.
Yep, and also nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Also with the stun lock follow-up, wasn't able to get far. That does also mean that Seri had to start off the lane with the spear instead of the bonk. We'll see if that applies anything. At least he can use it to keep TB away, even though TB is level 1 reflection instead of metamorph. It shouldn't be too bad for him to start this laning stage.
You're up against the Terrorblade, so a spear versus the God's Rebuke, it's actually debatable which one is better. God's Rebuke is better at like 90% of times, but Terrorblade doesn't take any damage from the spell, so maybe the spear is even a better start. He's not gonna be too mad about that one.
Yeah, at least as long as you don't miss skill E, like.
Yeah.
The classic level 1 Bulwark, like. What's up with that? Why'd you go for this?
I mean, there are times when it's good. I get when you're like
really. You're not defending level 1 Bulwark now, are you?
Imagine a lane where you're up against like a Drow and a Mirana 5, and they're just constantly attacking you from the start. And let's say your position 4 started in the safe lane to shut down a Viper or something like that. So there are times where you could get it just to survive the early minute 1.
I'd still say no, but
I know.
you cannot buy me on your side on this one, Harry. That's it.
I did my best, you know. I thought that I was that good of a salesman that I could sell anything, but now I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's at least we're looking at the wrong lane, because in the top lane it's going to be the kill instead of the bottom one, where Kishka and 11 able to find Hated. It's a good start for Lilgun to score a kill early.
Kishka was constantly trading with him, and in the end, 11 just came over. This is the thing. Whenever you have a hero, a position 3 that has some kind of a mobility spell, you do want to trade as much as possible. Seri is in trouble as well here.
In trouble, but still alive. The most important part for him. This is Salve burnt out from Lucify. And looking at the CS so far, everybody's getting their share. Tiny with a 1 wave advantage, but Tusk also has a lot of creeps there in that mid wave right now. See if JG can slow him down. Doesn't look like he can. Icky guy should be happy with that.
This should again be a farm trade in the mid. Nothing fun should be happening there. There isn't a chance for any of them to get a kill. It's probably going to be the Tusk constantly attacking the Tiny, getting him lower and lower. Then the Tiny uses the Avatos combo. Tusk gets low as well, and then rinse and repeat until the next water runes.
Maybe later on, perhaps fighting over the action or the power runes would be something when we start to see some action come out from the mid lane. And also those rotations. We've seen some really good rotations from Atomic. First game, Lilgun were a bit... I think they were a bit stuck with what they wanted to do with their moves early on. So we'll see if they've made a change into that. They're going to target the Disruptor again. And for Lilgun, it almost works out. Kishka's going to have to chase the Disruptor. And 11 unable to get any other damage to follow it up on. So Hated pops a salve. Kishka, he's got boots. He's very fast on this Mortimer. Trading off with some shotguns. See who wins this battle of the supports. Kishka also has 10 stick charges. There's the Cookie. He wants the Wild Wing Ripper to join the party. There's the Glimpse coming out. And Ikigai also wanted to come in for a kill here. He would have loved that. He's going to get to the Water Rune. Nope, he's not going to get to the Water Rune. We'll take that back.
Oh, good TP from JG. Really big. Really big play coming out from him. Also, that top lane Hated would have died immediately there if Kishka connected with a Scatter Blast, but he wanted both him and Scatterlicious in that one, and then he missed both of them. And in the end, that allowed Hated to live, to go for all of this chase around the map, and in the end, even survive that one. So very nicely done by Hated, but it was all kind of allowed by Kishka's greed. Even yesterday we saw it on the Nyx Assassin. He's always trying to get that one extra hero in the stun, and sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like small openings. They might arise from time to time. You gotta use them when you have them. Won't show themselves again unless you're very lucky or your opponent is dumb. But, that's more of a pub mentality thing. Kishka might just get glimpsed here if Hated gets close enough, but the downside is still the boots difference. The other person, I don't know, he's running on rubber slippers, and the other guy has Nikes. So not going to be a good sprint.
I think Hated is going to be changing his mount, you know, like slapping him. Like, how can a lizard be faster than you? Like,
but hey,
does that happen?
I mean, wait for the snail snapfire. I hope that one goes through, because imagine seeing a hasted snail.
Yeah, imagine how much shame that would bring upon someone who is lower than Kishka's in trouble.
Kishka's dead.
Dead to rights.
That was either super optimistic or a bit of a misread, but that's a freebie for Hated. That was a low snapfire, recognizing that I'm probably dead. Just wanted to fight it out and initiate it himself, but he might have been able to get away. However, that's already history. Just get a bottle refill for Ikigai.
I guess he didn't really know where to go. So he placed some vision there in the jungle. He probably saw now this ward being placed.
Oh, I almost bought the TP. Close one. Looks like a second will go their way as the TP illusion blocks Lucify's escape. But you were saying.
That was really nice. That was a really nice block. Kishka probably wanted to die there where he got caught by Hated. I don't know if he wants to die now, though.
TP's still on cooldown for 40 seconds and into the arms of JG, so, well, his grant was not, well, his wish was not granted. His grant was not wished.
Let us fight.
We haven't looked at the bottom lane for a long time, and actually the TB's lane is going really well. I expected the Mars and the Dark Willow to pressure him a bit more, but yeah, as I mentioned, you miss a couple of Bramble Mazes, and suddenly this lane just isn't as strong.
Yep. Seri does get telekinesis away from the lane, allowing a couple extra hits from Ace and 423. But on the top lane, however, 11 looks like to be a more probable kill. 15 seconds for another glimpse and 60 movement speed advantage for the CK. Race car closes up the gap.
Bottom lane action.
They're actually going to get this TB this time. Looks like they will, but the Tiny, it should be happening, and it will. JG's just playing really good on this Tiny. 2 games in a row now. Now into the Radiant Triangle. Glimpse dodged. Tusk ain't going anywhere. Kishka gets his revenge. Called in his older buddy to help him out. Or older brother in this case, maybe in this case.
Yeah, I have a brother who goes boxing, you know, and it seems like this time around Hated didn't believe him, but yeah, Kishka, this time he's the one that baits him into death after 2 deaths of his own. Yep. So nicely done there. Nice rotation from Ikigai.
The classic, I might not be able to beat you, but I'll call in my bro. He'll beat you up for me. We'll see if this Tusk continues to roll. Looking at net worth, both offlaners not enjoying the game so far, but outside of that, pretty even. Neon.Atomic is already 2,000 gold ahead at this point in game number 1. So here we have a fighting chance for them. He's going to get killed off by the Tiny, charging from 11, hunting down the Disruptor. No spells remaining. Trample still up from 11 as well, but no opener to use it.
Ikigai could have saved Kishka there. He could have taken him into the snowball and gotten him away from Tiny. The glimpse wouldn't have connected, but for some reason he just wanted to go fast there onto Hated. It ended up his buddy dying and him not even getting a Hated kill. So Ikigai a slight misplay there. It caused them, I'd say 2 kills. One they would prevent, and they would most likely be getting the kill anyways.
Oh, there is a Metamorph about to run out in the bottom lane. By the looks of it, won't be able to get much except keep some distance and lose a fine Seri. Seri is 1 creep away from Arena, and that is death for TB.
Top lane rotation onto Skydalicious. This should be ending up in a kill.
That's a big one. That's a really big one to actually kill the CK this early on. I like that move. But this bot lane, there's the Arena, there's the spear. No, the Sunder comes out first, and they're trying to retaliate onto that one. Rubik spears the Mars away with a stolen spear. TB to drop really low on HP, and they got the glimpse. They just need a little bit more, and Hated will secure it. So both carries have been killed off, and here's the Tiny once again. This man is out for a lot of kills. He's on a bloodlust spree as he just continues to roll out for another kill, They do lose the Willow in the process, but this Tiny is looking really, really good once again.
Bad read from Lilgun. Even though they used all of their spells well, stole the perfect one, the spear on the Rubik, they still weren't able to survive. With that stolen spear, they did get themselves 1 kill, but it's nowhere close to being worth it, considering what they lost in the process.
See what happens in Miss Godilicious wants to take a fight. Ikigai goes in for the snowball. Walrus punch onto the CK. They're going to have the Tiny in the middle as well. Another hit. Tusk still living. There's 11 coming in with a charge. Pokes him away. Does a bit of damage. Pulverize. Oh, the glimpse save. Scotty-licious lives. That next Pulverize hit would have definitely killed the CK. So the glimpse for the rescue.
You could see Ace there. He was thinking for a second of going for the kill on the CK, but the CK had the infused raindrops. So the second he saw that one, he decided to go back. Fade Bolt wouldn't have been enough damage. But here's the thing, something that we talked about during the draft. The side of Neon.Atomic, they have no push. And on the other side, there's a Terrorblade who got the tower. And 11, I don't even know what he's doing there, but he did get a kill.
Yeah. With this movement as well, lose a fight to fall to the trample. You might be able to Shadow Realm, but you're still not able to evade the damage in any way. Just gonna try and TP out. Also means
Good
that Willow's
rotation
TP on
from
cooldown
Lilgun.
for a bit. See what they can do with this smoke. This is for a lot of wards. Like you said, there's a decent amount of vision. Taking over the entire top jungle. aggression moves are good at this this phase of the game, especially when you know CK isn't at his peak yet, but will be soon. They've got the arena in the top lane. Primal Beast, but the Pulverize doesn't get too much out. Snowball move onto the Willow. The Willow's still able to throw in that big hit. 40 HP. Primal Beast on the back line. JG about to fall with the TT on this Tusk, and the clip should kill him, and it shall. Hated will pick that one off, and TV on the side. The fear will come out. Lucify buying some time, but the Mortimer's kisses. Burns down one, hits on Seri, connects on Lucify, and also burns the Mars one extra time. Now deeping to the bot lane. Scottylicious got to get the hell out of there. Snowball will connect, gets thrown into the air, has no chance to teleport away, stayed a bit too long. And that's a dead CK. Lilgun fighting back.
Yeah, they're fighting back, and every single time that they are, 423 is using the TPs being used around the map to move. He is never using his TP, he's just moving the fastest he can between the towers. He just needs to survive right now, and considering the Disruptor is there, it's not going to be easy.
Well, they're going to kill the Disruptor.
Yeah, he has help.
And there is a Sunder available for 423. But there's no target to use it on. His Metamorphosis also ran its course. He's going to get a bottle refill. Ikigai. Got some illusions to farm with. Always nice.
Delicious went for ace in the bottom lane, but couldn't get the connections there, and also against the Avalanche is just way too hard. I have to say, Lilgun's movements in this game, they are very, very fast. I can see why Atomic cannot keep up.
Hey.
Still alive.
Yep. Avalanche for Avalanche. Lift this off cooldown in 3 seconds. Full bottle charges used by the Tiny as well, so he's back to full, but the tower finally taken down. That's the first tower kill for Atomic here. Make it 1 for 1.
Even with the good movements of Lilgun, they didn't manage to get the mid lane tower down, and that is big, because that is the one around which Neon.Atomic want to play with his Blink Dagger on the Tiny. So if they manage to get a couple of kills there, they might be the ones to get the mid lane tower first.
Will find themselves a Tusk in the bot lane. Still Snowball. Does he have any backup? He's pinging. We need some help here. It is the Tusk. Sorry, it is the Tiny who's actually doing the pinging here instead of the Tusk. And finally, a Kikai to fall. Atomic to find themselves another kill. Scottylicious happy to bring that one into him. See what they can do here with 11 being arenaed by Seri. Spear to connect. There's the Willow showing up as well, and here's the Tiny. Want to make sure of things that this Primal Beast falls, but that's a lot of damage that they need to deal. 6 HP escape. You think this is gonna happen? It's possible. They still want to go in. Tiny with the haste rune, Blink Dagger ready. Oh, they're gonna change. They're gonna change targets towards the Rubik. So the Primal Beast gets to live. Ace. Sacrifice pays off.
That's pretty big.
Maybe they can get something done here as well. Disruptor ulti drop down. Mortimer's kisses. Does some damage. Seri will live. And so does the Disruptor. So another ulti trade-off for heroes who don't die.
But the JG can still go for hunting, and you're not pressuring this mid lane tower. So Neon.Atomic are quite happy. Considering how Lilgun moved, you would assume that this mid lane tower would have been dying. But you can see just how much Neon.Atomic are able to do just because it is still standing. So right now, Lilgun are going to go towards the top lane for some TPs, and that's going to be the cue for 423 to come and finish it off. Let's see if it works out.
Seri has sit inside the tree line as 423 shows himself in the lane. They have a perfect Radiant scan.
They know where he is.
See what happens now. He shows up in lane. Kinesis, Snowball, and a Stolen Spear. Ace for the kill. Instantly pinging the mid lane as well, that we gotta do something here while they are still spread out. They will go for 11. 11 actually charges in with the onslaught. It's gonna get caught. Scottylicious has the stun. Kishka is gonna be there as well. The Phantasm has been used, but this is gonna be a great turnaround. 4-man pulverized damage coming through. Tiny to fall. CK dead. Lilgun. They'll take the tower with them.
Well, Neon.Atomic were a couple of seconds too late with that engage on the Primal Beast. The top lane death of Seri was actually good because he was deep into enemy territory, so the Terrorblade didn't have any chances of going to the mid lane immediately. And Neon.Atomic, they read the situation, they go for the kill onto the mid lane, but as I mentioned, a couple of seconds too late. Lilgun are fast to react, and they come over with numbers. Now with the mid lane tower being dead, it's gonna be a lot tougher for Neon.Atomic to make moves.
As you can see here, that Lucify does get taken down, but with the Arena of Mortimer's Kisses flying in as well, JG very low. Might actually get burned to fully. Ace will go in with the Stolen Spear for another kill. It feels like this Rubik Spear has been killing more heroes than the Mars has himself. Well, Mars actually has 0 kills, so that is a fact. Fact checking on the run.
Yeah, Neon.Atomic are having damage issues in this game. You have the Tiny, you want the hero to die when you jump in on him. But looking at the heroes of Lilgun, the only one that dies immediately is the Rubik. And he even has the infused range drops in the magic one, so not even that easy to bring down. So yeah, and as you mentioned, him getting the spear all the time isn't making things easy. He either has the spear or an avalanche, which are both spells to stop the advance of Neon and protect that first hero. And we see every single time that the first hero doesn't die, it's actually a Lilgun that are winning the fights.
Also the dire scan to be used, so the Mars is going to be out of there. Knows that there's traffic in the top lane. That's a 400 magical damage spear that the Rubik keeps throwing around, combined with the Fate Bolt. That is a lot of damage. That's combined. That's about 50-60% of Disruptor's HP pool, and that's almost half from just the Tiny. So definitely a good burst available with both of those two abilities up on the Rubik. JG should be fine as Lilgun don't get the chance to jump him with the smoke.
They were unsure. They were unsure if he was moving alone or not. But this is the thing. They were trying to see if anyone shows in the mid lane, we take it and we go towards the bot. If no one shows in the mid lane and the lane gets pushed in very deep in, we go into the Roche. Having the mid lane tower from the bottom lane, the opponents cannot react to the smoke, and they know that this is going to be a freebie.
Yeah, and Atomic, they're not going to make a move for it. And even if they do, they're going to be too late. Now, there's a lot of pings coming out. They're going to initiate while Roche is falling. Hated to go down. 4-2-3 to pick up the Aegis on this Terrorblade. 19 minutes and the first hero to be over 10,000 net worth with a Manta-style D-Lance working on a BKB. Very defensive TB build. But in the end, I think that's the most important one to keep himself alive.
Yeah, yesterday they lost some games that they thought they were gonna win 100%. Today he doesn't want to allow that to happen. This game, when you look at the heroes of Lilgun, if they keep it this way, the lead, everything for the next 10 minutes, they'll win the game, and he's aware of it. Just don't let go of your lead, and you'll be fine. No reason to go for damage items because Neon.Atomic heroes, they're dying. They're all gonna die. They're just not as tanky as you are.
Also, I really like the map movement read from Atomic, knowing that defending that tier 2 tower is going to be a lot of difficulty, so let's stack up in force. They might actually get a turnaround on the Tusk. TB is going to be TPing in as well. They're so close to getting this kill, and only 20 HP. He gets feared into a root that finally finishes him off, and they will lose the Willow for it. Hated on the move out, tries to get out. They will take down the Rubik, but they're going to lose the Snapfire. Kishka, he is going to fall. Scottylicious. Maybe he could get some even more work here. This is really good for Neon.Atomic, finding 3 for 1 after just losing a tier 2 tower and the Aegis and a fight before that.
Yeah, this might be that, okay, we are losing games mentality, and let's just try to do something more than we actually should. Trading your mid lane tower for the top tier 2, completely overtaking the
Yep.
map and only going towards the bottom lane with the smoke is the approach. A clean approach, and it's actually on Neon.Atomic to make a move that is gonna change that. Neon.Atomic, obviously, they see heroes in the top lane, they push the mid lane, and then they get jump, and they're like, cool, they're coming for us. And Lilgun, thinking that they have the Aegis and it's gonna change something, the Terrorblade is gonna get ignored either way at this point of the game. So, very nice fight for Neon.Atomic, but it did come out from Lilgun, making an overly aggressive move.
Wraith Pact is almost up on Kishka as well, looking at the BKB for the TB. And Tusk, one hammer towards his Desolator. I feel like this Tusk farm is very, very hard to achieve. But he's still on par to having a good item timing here with his abilities. What's up with these Chaos Bolt animations?
It's gonna be very cool in this game. Tiny can go for the Axe. He doesn't need the Echo Saber because he has the Arena and the Bramble Maze plus the Terrorize. So his ulti is gonna be connecting quite nicely. I mean ulti, the Tree Volley. So it's actually a really good item. The JG understands can give them one fight.
Oh, they're so close to finding Seri. Oh, he just walks into Ace. Oh, he was safe for a second. They were already moving away. But then Seri walks into them. That is just Mars trying to cut out the creep wave. There's nothing else he can do here. He knows he's dead. They will clear out the wave in full. And JG on the other side of the map. He will most likely die as well. Too much damage, too many rotations to kick in. Now Atomic teleporting towards bottom as well. They're just trying to keep these side lanes split as much as possible. And Lilgun, you can see that the gank train, they've been moving around the map back and forth, chasing these heroes.
4-3 is in a perfect position to bait. If they go for him now, they're all gonna die.
This TP already goes down to half. There's the Sunder. BKB from Scotty Licious. No mana for TP. Finally has it. Everybody else needs to get out ASAP. There's no TP on Lucify. That might be a dead Willow. Disruptor has to get out as well. They can't dive the towers, so this Dark Willow actually gets to live.
Oh, good read from Neon.Atomic. I thought for a second there that they were committing for the Terrorblade, that they wanted something to happen. Knowing that the enemies don't have TPs, you're not forcing out TPs. You know that if they come, you're just dead. So in the end, though, Neon.Atomic, they did have to use the BKB of the CK, but it's is the least you could lose there. I think Skydalicious said like TB, and then someone of his support said, no, they're all missing off the map. They're coming. They're moving fast this game, and then you run away. So it's gonna cost you the BKB. So I mean, it's not ideal, but at least you're not losing heroes.
Yeah, considering they just lost 2 of their cores. One from the bottom lane, then the other from the top, both with TP rotations, but 11 will be going in on Seri. Seri, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, nobody to help. Lilgun will continue applying pressure, force out the glyph.
Very unfortunate there. He turns for the God's Rebuke to stop the onslaught, and when he turns, the Dark Willow uses the Force Staff and pushes him in. So, I mean, I'm not sure if he would have survived either way, but if he got the God's Rebuke, turned around, got Force Staff back, there is a chance that he makes it to the high ground and actually lives.
Yeah, bit of a if situation. In the end, 4-2-3 will continue to push this tower down. Aegis has expired. The tier 3 has fallen. 3-man smoke from the back. They want to keep themselves hidden, but look at the positioning from Lilgun. It's a clump up on the lower ground, basically, here, and just the TB in the front. Gonna get glimpsed back. Getting caught inside the kinetic field, hated. Won't be able to do much more here. 10 seconds for another glimpse, so they should be out.
It would be really bad if you got the mid lane tower there for Neon.Atomic, because you have a tiny lineup. The enemies need to be afraid of that one. They are smoking out right now. They're hoping for a kill, but ideally they just want a part of the map to control for themselves.
See if they can grab anybody. Heading towards the triangle. Ace is going to be there. TB has already moved out. Ikigai also on the side. It is going to be a missed opportunity as Lilgun, their suspicions prove right.
a ward was placed. If Lilgun do not deward that one, there is a chance for Neon.Atomic to use it for a move. And Lilgun, it seems like they didn't know how deep Neon.Atomic went, so that ward is gonna persist. So the smoke from Neon.Atomic, it wasn't for nothing, but the problem is that they are under vision themselves, so they'll have to bail for now. I think they understand that.
Again, the split push is in action. You have Seri in bottom, JG in top. Keeping those waves in.
Oh, good solution from Lilgun. Going to the triangle, push the 2 waves. Don't get pulled into TPing back to the lanes. They understand this one. They can't TP to the lanes until they force the enemy's TPs back. And that's why they're using the enemy triangle in the mid lane to make it happen.
We'll get the stun onto the primal beast. Scottilicious fighting outside of the base. Just trying to force some attention, but 11 goes in. BKB with the pulverize. Gonna get a good start for the fight. Scottilicious has to force his BKB too, so 11 does get the trade-off. Low cooldown on his ulti too, so it doesn't feel like a big loss for him to have his BKB on cooldown because Scottilicious is the bigger target. Now, 4-2-3 gets an opener. We'll take out these mid-racks.
Yeah, you just let it go at this point. You don't want your Tiny to come back. Ideally, you don't even bring back the Mars. Maybe you should have just stayed on the bottom lane, but I think they're prepared for a fast smoke here. As soon as the Tiny TP is back, they're gonna be smoking and running to the enemy triangle. Do they have a smoke, though? Oh, they might not have a smoke.
The only smokes are, well for Atomic,
they have
it's on the Willow's courier. He just bought them out.
Okay.
I think the moment you opened the shop on your screen, Willow had just bought them. So I saw the double smoke pop up, but let's see. They're right next to Lilgun. Under vision. Perfect jump from Tusk. Lucify already gone. 1 shot. Comes in with a buyback. Seri with his own BKB Arena to keep the Primal Beast busy. As Scottilicious tries to TP home. He'll get it! He will be able to get out, but now it's just down to the rest. How many heroes can they salvage? Seri is definitely falling. Disruptor, oh, that's a zoning ulti right there.
He didn't really zone anyone, though. They still came to him and crushed his head. Yeah, that's why you use the smoke. They thought that Lilgun moved away, so they thought they could get out of the base without a smoke as far as they could, and then smoke towards their Tiny. But a beautiful move came from the Terrorblade. He TP'd top, he pushed out 1 wave, and he started running towards his team, and they just waited on vision. He's fast enough to get her in time.
A lot of noise coming out of that fear. Scottilicious with his BKB up, Avalanche onto 3. JG will find a target to toss backwards. It's going to be 11, but 11. He's got 36 armor on this Primal Beast. Evaporates the Willow, gets rid of JG with the help of 4-2-3 and Ikigai. And they continue their work. Snowball to the back line. Tries to snipe the Disruptor, lives with 40 HP, and the Tusk will fall. Lilgun, they got to be careful now. TB will finish off the racks nevertheless. So it's just going to be 1 hero lost for lane.
They don't even want to stop.
Oh, Payton. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
That was just salt to the wound. You didn't really need to get that kill if you're Lilgun. You pretty much secured everything that you needed. The shenanigans from Neon.Atomic and their plays came from pushing out the top lane.
Snapfire. Be caught outside of the base. And 4-2-3. He's moving around with a Silver Edge. Fortunately, no target to jump on. There's a DD rune waiting, and so is Roche number 2. So if Lilgun heads there, that could just be their next gameplay move. They are considering pushing out this bot wave. At least establish control in the triangle, because that's the only area that Atomic still has some control of.
Until you get the tier 2, having complete control of that one is going to be hard. Willow is dead.
At least we're not stuck
Well,
in
at least
cords.
they are asserting dominance.
Yep.
That you can always do. Scottilicious. He's very close to his next item timing.
They Do they really feel like they don't need the Roche? There is no reason not to go for it. You're probably gonna win the game even without it, but if you lose a fight, you lose the Roche as well. So this is a unnecessarily risky move from Lilgun.
CK going Radiance? CK Radiance, yeah. I was for a moment I was just zoning out, like, okay, so looks like he's building a nullifier. Maybe he wants something out of his quarterstaff. Sorry, Oblivion staff. I was like, wait a minute, that's actually a Radiant CK.
Yep. But he did
Don't get to
lose
see
the
that too often.
he did lose the bottom tier 2, so they have nowhere else to fight. They have to go for a smoke and just go straight up into it. So not ideal. Radiance is cool, but the question is how much is it gonna change against the BKB Terrorblade, and
Well,
the answer is not really a lot.
Yeah, not really against the BKB. Maybe percentage-based probability is going to help you somehow. They're going to use everything on the Tusk, but it's an illusion. The real one is only joining the fight. Scotty-licious, that's your Radiance burn. Armlet Toggle ain't going to help you. And Lilgun should be closing it out here with this team fight. They're going to clean out the rest. Take it 3-4, and the GG comes out. Lilgun take their first victory. But it is a tie series as Atomic did take the first one.
Yep, I think the best place for you to fight was at your tier 2, but it didn't have the Radiance. So it was 5,000 gold of the CK. Pretty much not doing anything, so they like their chances more if they just smoke out. We saw how it ended up. Even if that was the real Tusk, I still think you get absolutely demolished in that fight. But yeah, it was a valiant attempt, a cool approach. You see that you're losing fights either way, so you try to buy something different. Obviously, this time around, it's not gonna be making that much of a difference, because TB, other than like, contrary to other illusion heroes, he doesn't rely on his illusion damage that much. The hero itself does so much, and when he popped the BKB, that Radiance didn't really do anything. So Lilgun, very clean gameplay. I have to say I'm impressed with their movements. They were fast, they were crisp, they knew exactly what they needed to do. They only once did they overextend in this one, in my opinion, going for that tier 2 in the bottom lane, but at that point the game was mostly done. So yeah, it was actually a good move, but not a necessary one.
And also, individual performance-wise, if you look at Neon.Atomic, JG, for example, we kind of highlighted how well he was playing throughout this series on the Tiny. Well, it had a good start, it had some good impact, but then it kind of, you know, what happens? Like, the Tiny kind of disappeared. We saw the CK wasn't having a great game. We thought that maybe this is the last pick to change things through for Atomic. They could have gotten away with this game, but it went completely the other way around. Lilgun really pulling out a very good laning stage, followed it up from there. TB had a good game, and a very different type of item build as well. I like the approach that he took here, that he's like, all right, I'm going to do something a bit different from this Manta, but not too drastical. And Ace, beautiful, beautiful Rubik game. Absolutely beautiful Rubik game from Ace.
Yep, everyone played individually well. Coming back to the Tiny, I think he actually did a good job in this.
He did a good job.
Considering what he was up against. But when the time came, when the infused raindrops were on all of these fat heroes, the Tiny's power just diminishes, and he tried to go for that Aghanim Scepter, but really the difference in gold was way too high, and the Terrorblade was getting too strong.
But that's how it is sometimes. Our first best of 2 is over. We're going to be taking a 15-minute break and returning with the next one. It's going to be Spawn Team versus Unity Gaming for the second best of 2 of the day. We'll be back in a bit.